Okay. Now today we will take the remaining part what we have done yesterday. That is the synthetic perfumes. I told you about the perfumes which are generally used. And synthetic perfumes are benzyl acetate, having the structure. This is the benzyl group, CH2. You have the oxygen attached to it. And remember, the CO group is attached to the CH3. So that is benzyl acetate. Then you have amyl salicylate. Amyl salicylate. Again, if you draw the structure, you have salicylic acid. Is this one. And you have the amyl group here. That is CH2 times CH3 and OH here. So this is the amyl salicylate. Similarly, cyclohexyl acetate, ortho-T-butyl cyclohexyl acetate, that also I mentioned yesterday. Ortho-T-butyl cyclohexyl acetate. And the compound structure. So let us write cyclohexyl acetate is this is a cyclohexyl group, and you have acetate, that means O, C double bond O, CH3. Okay, so T-butyl cyclohexyl ortho. Of course, this is something interesting. You don't put actually ortho para designation for cyclohexyl group, but they have used it here. So this is going to be the structure of the, and you can see all of them are esters. Now these perfumeries, they contain certain compounds called the fixatives. Perfumery compounds, perfumes contain fixatives. Now these are low boil, high boiling, slightly more high boiling. Low volatile substances. Low volatile substances. Actually, their role is they will retain. They retain the and that is they retain the highly volatile materials, high volatile substances for a longer time. This is the role of the fixatives. Okay. In perfumery industry, they use different words like base note, middle note, top note, and all this stuff. Those details will not go over here. Now let's look at the health effects of the perfumes. This is of a real concern. Health effects, especially you must be knowing that many of the perfumery material which people use, they will be having a pungent odor to some people. Okay, and they feel a little bit headache feeling. So such problems are always there. Now you have to remember one thing: each of the perfume. A perfume is actually the word perfume is actually a bunch of chemicals. Word perfume is a sample which you apply on your body. It contains many chemicals. Many chemicals. Mainly nowadays it is synthetic. And the safety of all these, chemicals are debatable. Means maybe the safety is not completely proved. Many of them can cause headache. They can cause headache, dizziness, and you can have sometimes they cause allergy also. Allergy are also caused. Okay, so this is one of the major problem in health effect. Secondly, we have the problem with environmental effect. Environmental effect. All these are volatile compounds. So the volatile components are released into the atmosphere. So that will definitely cause pollution. Of course, it is released in very small amount. We can argue like that, but everyone is using it. But still, it is going to be given out into the atmosphere, and the magnitude of effect will be quite high. Okay? These compounds may be hazardous even at the ppm level. So that is what we are concerned about. Okay. So another very important concern is it is found that human milk contained about a ppm level of these substances, of these volatile substances. This is a real concern of these volatile substances. Okay, so this is a real concern because you see, the main concern is it is absorbed through the skin. That is the main thing. So it must be getting absorbed. It must be getting absorbed absorbed either through lungs, or through the skin. You can think it that way. The skin is in contact with the chemicals in the atmosphere. Of course, we are not sure which way. Probably mostly through lungs, inhalation, and that is a real cause for uh, the feeding mothers. Okay. So these are the health effects of perfumery compounds. Then we have a class of compounds that are called deordants. Deordants. Now, what are deodorants? Deodorants are compounds which are formulations which are to reduce or masking something. Masking means you just cover it up. That's the word meaning of masking. Unpleasant body odor. Unpleasant body odor. Now you have to remember the body odor is actually caused by the by microorganisms. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. Much of the things are being done by the microorganisms. So, so this masking is done without interfering with the interfering with the performance of your uh, sweat glands, without interfering the performance of sweat glands. Okay, you are not preventing the sweat being produced, because that is a very important thing. Sweat has to get produced. So it is these compounds are not interfering with the sweat glands performance, and also they don't have give no medical effects, and there is no deodorants have no medical effect on the human body. Okay, so actually what they do is these compounds they will inhibit the performance of the bacteria, inhibit the bacterial inhibit the bacteria which cause the bad odor. Okay, that is how they work. That is how they work. Okay. Now these bacteria, these substances, they which are there in the market, they contain many components. Quite a few components are present in these formulations which are present in the market, which the market gives you. So the composition of these deodorants, they include, so we can just have a look into the composition. The first one, as we already know, they require they have a this fragrant materials. Okay, fragrances. The most common fragrances which are used are clove oil. natural fragrances. Of course, you can use any of them. Clove or thyme oil. These are the two fragrances we commonly use. Of course, any other can be used. Then they use a certain synthetic aroma. Certain synthetic aroma chemicals that are also used. And so this clove oil and thyme oil, they have got both. They got both antibacterial as well as fragrance, antibacterial activity and fragrance. Both are there. Okay, so this is first component. The second, we have antibacterial agent is added. Separate antibacterial agent may be added. Now commonly used antibacterial agent is triclosan. Triclosan. Is a commonly used one in the substances, in the deordants. The third one is fixative. Which will fix the substances to the body. Okay, and they control what they do is they control volatile, control the volatility of the other additives. Other components. So they control the volatility of other components. Okay. Then the fixatives which are generally used, they are dipropylene glycol, and diethylate or diethyl phthalate. So these are the fixatives that are used. And then we have the fourth one is moisturizer. Moisturizers are which are used, and they will actually moisturizer means they will take away the excess of the moisture and retain what is required. So that is what is a moisturizer. The role of moisturizer is absorb the excess moisture, absorb excess moisture, excess sweat. That is what they do. So commonly used moisturizer is propylene glycol. Remember, the glycols are compounds containing OH groups. So probably they can interact with the water molecules. OH groups, by hydrogen bonding, can interact with the water molecules. So that is how that is the mechanism how they do their job. Now we have solvents. So what are the solvents used? The solvents are very commonly used solvents are ethanol, ethyl alcohol, and propylene glycol. Ethyl alcohol or propylene glycol. Okay. And last, we have preservatives for these substances. So it's preservatives. Preservatives which are used is mainly the methyl and propyl paraben. And you know what is the role of preservatives? They prevent the formulations being destroyed by atmospheric oxidation or by the microbial attack. So that's the role of preservatives. Now let us look at the health effects of all these substances of the formulation deordants. The health effects include number one, again the same, you have to repeat that if fragrance, they have their problems, fragrance related problems that we have already discussed. So that is the first thing. Number two, this propylene glycol, which we use as preservative, solvent as well as moisturizer. Propylene glycol, say, sometimes can cause allergy. Sometimes, not always. In some persons, it may cause allergy. Only in some persons. So that is of concern, allergy, and it may lead to skin irritation. Skin irritation. And the third one is, of course, related with the preservatives which are used. Preservatives are harmful chemicals. Preservatives can cause health problems. So these are the general perfumeries and deodorants which are classified. Okay. So next we have to take up chemicals in the food that will take up tomorrow. Okay. And so we'll meet tomorrow again.